Hey, what's up, people? This is the Try Hard Nation, and I'm Hero Suit. Um, Hope you guys are all having a good day, and I hope your holidays are going well. Happy early New Year's to folks, and happy late Christmas as well. Merry late Christmas. And I don't want to hold you guys up because I think the content of the video will keep your time enough. So, as this video is appropriately titled, I'm going to be basically telling you guys why I like Bleach. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it, people. Number one, Ichigo is a unique protagonist. And I mean, for a number of reasons, Ichigo is a unique protagonist. And for those who don't know what Bleach is, I'll keep it short and brief. Ichigo is a 15-year-old kid. This is how the story starts. He's a 15-year-old kid from a town by the name of Karakura Town. As he gets older, he starts seeing ghosts. One day he's on his way home. What's known as a hollow, which are like, for lack of a better term, special monsters, in terms of the show. There's a monster that's attacking his family, and Ichigo can't really deal with the monster. Then there's a being known as a Shinigami or Sori who's also trying to deal with the monster, but she can't. She gets kind of hurt, knocked down. Ichigo, wants to protect his family. If he can, he goes to her. She says, "Look, I can give you the power to protect your family." She impales Ichigo with the sword. Ichigo becomes the Soul Reaper himself. He takes out the monster, and then thus begins the Bleach series. And along the while, like, Ichigo just becomes such a beautiful character. Like, I mean, or rather, I should say why he's unique. He's unique because if you think about characters like Deku from My Hero, or Naruto, or Luffy from One Piece, all of these guys have goals. Now, I'm not saying it's bad to have goals, but what makes Ichigo so unique is that Ichigo never originally had a goal. Ichigo didn't want to be a substitute Soul Reaper. He didn't want to be a lieutenant. He didn't want to be a captain. Ichigo was a regular kid who was just living his life, bro, and then his family got into some trouble, and then he went protecting his family. And as the story developed, more of his background that he thought he knew about started to come out into the open, and that's what really made him so unique, because Ichigo never really wanted to do anything. Situations and problems literally always came to Ichigo. And I mean, the orange hair, that's like a big standout if you ask me. And I mean, not to mention how he has like dual souls. I mean, that makes him even unique in his own show. And not to mention, Ichigo kind of also has like his attitude is nonchalant, but it's also not arrogant, but it's a bit nonchalant, and I don't want to call him angry, but there's a word I'm looking for about Ichigo's personality that, again, it just makes him unique. But a big part of that is him being nonchalant. And the second thing is, Bleach is a story that is far more complex than you might think. And building off of the first thing, of course, Ichigo, like I said, like, just think about where the story starts off. He's a regular kid. He really doesn't want anything. And not too many animes start like that, not with just a regular guy who really doesn't want anything, and then things are just brought to him. Most animes start, someone wanting to be someone. I want to be the most powerful, or at least shonen animes start that way. And then, like I said, you have the whole entire Soul Society system, Hueco Mundo system, the Quincy's, and the way that they have, you have the lieutenants, and then you have the seats, and then you have the captains, and then not to mention the Zero Division, and then the long war, the 1,000-year blood war with the Quincy's, and then, like I said, Ichigo's backstory coming to the forefront of the show, and then the characters in themselves and their backstories and how they actually relate all across the shows. The characters who do, like Kisuke Urahara, how he is the founder of the research and development team, and he also found Mayori and had him in prison just because he could be potentially a problem in the future. And then as the story develops later on, Ichigo gets exiled and comes into the human world, where he meets Ichigo, but Ichigo doesn't know who he really is. And Mayori ends up becoming the captain of his squad, the research and development team. So things like that, man. Like, the story it's really a good, complex story, especially when you really start to look at it, look in between the lines, I should say. The third point, and this is going to be directed towards another character, Kenpachi Zoraki. You know, his name rings bells across all of anime because he is the embodiment of just what we like to see in your typical, very stereotypical anime. Let me just get a badass guy who can fight. And that's exactly what Kenpachi is, bro. And I'll give you a brief run back on Kenpachi. In short, he is basically just he was of course born in the Soul Society. He was a regular kid, but he was just adept at killing. Like he was just a killer. His first weapon. Now, normally in the Soul Society, people's weapons come from Asuchas. You grab an Asucha, which is basically, if you would, like a clay sword. The sword is actually real, but let's just say for the sake of understanding, it's like a clay sword, right? Even though it's a real sword, and your soul manifests within the sword into what your soul will be, which makes it unique to every character. Kenpachi never had an Asuchi. Kenpachi killed the guy who originally had his sword, and he just took his sword and he went around just killing. And then from that point on, just through raw strength, he became a captain. Now keep in mind, these people, you got to go through the ranks, the seats, the lieutenants, and all that stuff. And typically, you would have a sword that has a shikai, maybe even having a bunkai being a captain. Kenpachi is one of the first ever captains to become a captain without a bunkai. Most people know about Dragon Ball Z, so if I could possibly, put this into terms where everyone can understand it, it's almost the equivalent to someone like Tien being able to combat Perfect Cell without having any transformations. You know what I mean? Tien fighting Perfect Cell without having any transformations, and that's Kenpachi, but just to like the maximum level. And my fourth point would be the fillers. Now, I've seen my share of anime again, Naruto and My Hero and what have you. And I've seen some fillers, and some fillers are backstories for the most part, and I can always appreciate a good backstory. I really can. But again, Bleach being my favorite anime, I must say, and I don't think I'm being biased. I've seen some good backstories. I really have. I've seen some good fillers. But Bleach has some of the best fillers that you guys will see. I mean, Murder Musa, this guy, he actually is a sword, right? He is someone's sword who is trying to come back and rescue his wielder. And his wielder is a Kuchiki clan member, which is one of the noble clans of the Soul Society. Oh, the stories, bro. Another filler will be Kakarosa. He's basically he's someone who's in the Soul Society, and I may get this story a little mixed up, but he kind of split his soul, and then he basically had a bunch of mod souls, which are basically like artificial souls that are created in the Soul Society, and they can pretty much they can embody anyone, if I'm not mistaken. And he made a bunch of those to embody some of the top tier characters in the Soul Society, like the captains, Kenpachi and whatnot. And he had the Soul Society running amok because everyone was basically fighting, similar versions of themselves, if not just exact duplicates. And it was just crazy. And the Kakarosa story ended so good. Ichigo doing one of the best Getsuga Ten shows. For those who don't know, that's his ultimate attack. He did one of the best Getsuga Ten shows you guys will ever see. So like Bleach has some really, really good fillers as well. And again, I don't want to hold you guys up, so I'm gonna, kind of wrap this up with my last point on why I like Bleach. And that is because of the bunkais. Now keep in mind, this list could have went on, but I don't want to keep you guys too long. But my last point again being the bunkais. I mean, is there any more sick transformation, in terms of transforming with a sword, if you will? Like, the bunkais are just a legendary feat in anime, in Bleach. It just is. When someone says bunkai, if you know anime, then you know exactly what they're talking about. Tensuzon Getsu, what else you have it? See, and it's sad, I feel Sinbon Sakura Kageyoshi. Like, there are some really, really epic bunkais, and the bunkais aren't like a Super Saiyan thing. Not that I'm knocking Super Saiyans, like, you know, where we transform to the Super Saiyan and then, you know, everyone's kind of yellow hair, green eyes. Like, no, your Bunkai, like your Shikai, is very, very unique to you. So I think in the show they put a considerable amount of time into making each Bunkai unique in its own way. And like I said, the Bunkais in that show were just epic. Everything from giant samurais to spheres that cut off your senses. So much power in the Bunkai. You know, this is Ichigo's, the Tensei Ichigo has so much raw power that they took some of the raw power and condensed it into a small blade so that he could just be super fast. Not to mention that he was still kicking out unfathomable amounts of raw power. And then, oh my goodness, we can't forget about Captain Yamamoto, which the captains, there are 13 captains, all right? And they have one guy who's the head captain. And he has been the strongest captain in like the past 1,000 years. His Bunkai is probably still the strongest, well, not lore-wise, but it's still top 3, top 5 strongest Bunkais you'll ever see. You guys definitely should research Captain Yamamoto's Bunkai. And if you guys stuck around to the end of this video, I really do appreciate you guys tuning in and listening to some of the reasons why I like Bleach. I may in the future do more videos like this on why I also like other animes. But again, this is just the introduction so you guys could feel more of Hero Soup and understand me more of where I'm coming from. So you guys could also still follow me on all social medias, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, of course. And I'm always streaming on twitch.tv, HERO_SUPE. And I also have I have links that you guys can just click on my image at the top of this page. But you guys have a great day. I'll see you guys in the next video, or you guys can catch me on stream. See you all later.